Interestingly, as a comment, people are talking about keeping cash. Cash is king. Obviously, the agenda that the NWO has is to get digital currency, which allows them to control you. So if they think that you have been a naughty boy, they can turn off your funds and stop you from doing things. Stop you from, if you are favoritism of, you like a nice pizza every week, or you want 2 pizzas 1 week, and they think that is unhealthy, they can actually stop you from buying that particular pizza. And also, when they bring in the smart cities idea, which they already are, with the idea of Oxford and Cambridge and Canterbury and Bristol and Bath and Swindon and Southampton and things like that, places that we know where they are trying to control your travel and limit the vehicles in a certain way. You can see that it's all part of the plan. So if you are also controlled with your finances, and they can obviously stop you from doing that, stop you from buying stuff because they can, then you are controlled. And allowing this digital currency to come in, the only way that you can do it is to say no and carry on using cash. How many times have you been to the supermarket and seen card only, or been to a restaurant and they tell you, oh no, we don't take cash anymore? Cash is king as far as our freedom is concerned. We need to be aware that this agenda that they have is to get rid of cash, even though cash is actually part of a system that's called fiat, and it was invented by them, and we used to have a gold standard where your finances were based upon gold. So if you had a pound, you had a pound of gold, and you could exchange that for goods and services. But obviously they changed it to move away from the gold standard because it gives them more control, and they can just print money. How many times have we seen in the last 3 years that they just print money, and they can spend money here, there and everywhere, but they've got no money for elderly people or disabled people or any of the other things that they could spend it on, but they can send it to Ukraine, for example, or Africa, and they can give away money, billions of pounds worth of money to contractors who have produced rubbish stuff, like the PPE scandal, and currently the scandal about storage of PPE, which is costing billions of pounds per year. This is money that they're printing because they can, but cash is king. And once we delve into this, you'll see that we need to be very aware that if you can, spend cash, even if it means that you have to draw out the cash from your cash point and put in your bank, which is another story there, because the banks are all part of this, and they are actually trying to control you. So if you go and try and get money out, they will make it as difficult as possible. So I just wanted to briefly ask you what you think, what is classed as legal tender, because it's very interesting, the whole thing about legal tender, because they say that card only, but cash is also legal tender. I mean, this is crazy, because Royal Mint produce the coins and the banknotes that we use. They are legal tender. I mean, there are some limitations and restrictions on using small coins, such as the 1p and the 2p coins, because they only count as legal tender if they're for any amount up to 20p. So this is the way you have to bear that in mind. So, but the larger numbers, the pound coins, 50p's, 10p's, 20p's, and the notes that we have currently, they're all legal tender. Problem is that these businesses who are refusing to take cash because they are, well, they're brainwashed into thinking that they have to. We have to realise that many common payment methods, such as cheques, debit cards, and even the contactless that they want you to use, aren't legal tender. They're not actually legal tender. But again, we have to remember, cash is king, and they are pushing this agenda to get rid of cash. What are you going to do if you're a grandparent, for example, or you're a parent of children, and you want to give them pocket money, or you want to go give them somebody a tip, or you want to buy something and you're going to get a discount, for example? You won't have any of that. If you want to save for a rainy day under your mattress, for example, you can't do that because everything you own will be known. It'll be in a banking system, a digital banking system, and if they feel that you have done something, or you're possibly naughty, and you're not complying with their agenda, then they can stop you. They can take it away, and it does already work. It's already like that in China, for example. If somebody is naughty and they've done their social credit system and they've lost points and they're not allowed to travel from A to B, they can stop you from buying tickets for that journey. This is how it is now. It's coming in. This is the system that's already there. They want that everywhere. They want it all over the world, so you are controlled. How many times are you in a shop at the moment, especially young people, and you've got your mobile phone, your cell phone, and you pay for it on your cell phone? You're using a digital app that you're paying for stuff. But bear in mind that none of this is legal tender, only cash. But people running businesses who refuse it are actually cutting off their future. They are doing it to themselves. They are causing their own destruction, because eventually, when the whole plan fails, and it will fail, because people are waking up, they're seeing the truth, they're seeing the reality of this system, and they're saying no, and they're saying no more. But we have to make a stand. So digital currency, we don't need it. It's control. We need to get back to basics. And on that note, I'll leave it there. So have a good day. Go and spend your cash.